All right, we're back. Check this out. This is a 1961 Jaguar E Coupe 1/18th model, made by the company Bburago. This is one of their originals. They retooled these. The new retools doesn't have the mirrors, and maybe the headlights are a little different, a couple other small details. But I'm not gonna lie, it's inspired by one of my friend's YouTube channels. I'm gonna show some diecast here. Now this one, I mean, I don't know how old this thing is. I mean, it's 2025 now, so probably 30 years old, something like that. It does have a little bit of damage. It's missing the clip there. These are on display. So we'll open some things up, take some peeks inside, try to figure some stuff out about them. These are pretty cool. I mean, these aren't like super high end. Steering wheel actually moves with, like when you turn the wheel, the steering wheel goes, I guess is one way to describe that. Details, they're not bad. We will try to show everything we can think of showing that's worth showing on this. Paint jobs, I mean, for a Bburago, I guess. I mean, you can see they didn't get inside these door frames, like we would call it overspray. It's pretty typical, but let's see if I can get this clip up without absolutely breaking it, which could happen. You could watch me break a super old. So I watched a couple videos on these type of models, and what I've seen people doing that's really cool is they'll buy them and they'll customize them. So like you can see underneath here, this hasn't been painted. So people will go in and like custom paint all that and like add their own details to them, which is pretty slick. This back opens up too somehow. I don't know which way. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do the old. There we go. Let's get that open. So you can see the trunk's not painted, and I'll do a different angle here with the camera in a second. We're just gonna try to get the cool low angles. I'm trying to think. The new recast, they painted windshield wipers, I believe, as well. Let's raise this camera up just a little tiny bit here, so we can see down in on some of these details. I mean, everything's relative. We got, I mean, my vision is not what it used to be. The decal on the steering wheel looks like it may be crooked. I can't tell for sure, but oops, hit with my hammer. We got 3 pedals deep down the side. I don't think I can actually film that. So it's got a clutch, it's got the shifter. You know, once again, you turn the wheels, and you get. There's no suspension on this. You know, motor's got some chrome. That's about on par with what you'd expect from a Bburago, I guess. Some small details in there. Tires actually are labeled Dunlap with a size. They're claiming these are 7x16s. I've heard or read that the tires are not always accurately labeled. This thing was, like I said, it was on display. If you've ever displayed cars like this, they're hard to keep clean. And I know that when this was on display, dusting it was a problem. So that's why it like stopped being on display. It was taken off display because of the dusting issues. So I spent, well, this is jammed. I understand why these things potentially could break. How am I going to get that? I don't want to break it. There we go. You know, the original car, that was leather. Let's look at the bottom. So you got labeling down here, the 1961, Italian made. You got an exhaust. There's a radiator in there. Faux suspension. Exhaust tips coming out. Rear license plate's not too shabby. The front one's kind of, sticker stuck on there. The detail on that is pretty cool. They took the time to add that little extra in there. I know there's people on the internet that like they dedicate their whole channels to like these type of cars. This is this is definitely not one of those channels. I'm just kind of showing some cool old stuff that we've got access to show the world, I guess, if the world's interested in stuff like this. Yeah, not too bad. You know, the one strap missing, no big deal. Be cool if I didn't have it. Wheels are pretty nicely detailed. I don't know if these, sometimes the door handles wiggle on some of this stuff. You got hand cranks in here, armrest, all which could be, like I said, there are people who detail these out, paint the pedals, handbrakes, all that stuff. I believe this model came in different colors and also with a hard top. Pretty cool. The paint on it is mediocre. There's some runs and spots. I don't know if it shows up on camera. There's a few rubs. I mean, this was in a box with like newspapers wrapped around it, coated in like, oh, so much dust you wouldn't believe, but that's how it goes sometimes.